I have gotten several requests to do a girls haircutting video since we did that men's one. So with Naomi here being the only girl in the house that I have to cut, it is her lucky day. So you're going to need a comb, some hair clips, some scissors, and either a spray bottle or go ahead and just pre-wet their hair. You never want to start a haircut with dry hair. So with that, you're going to take your comb, make sure you get all the tangles out of their hair. And then I'm just going to spray her down. I'm not going to stick her in my bathtub. Okay, she's somewhat wet. And then I like to section the hair off. I will never ever recommend going into a hair, pulling it down, and just whacking it off. That is a terrible idea. It's going to be crooked. You're going to have a huge shelf underneath there. Section it off. Do it slowly. Take your time. It's worth it. So I usually just part it down the middle. Okay. And then I just take like from their crown area down to their ear. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just do like a diagonal line, like that. And just section that off with a clip. So you're gonna need about 3 clips. And then the back, you're going to take a small section, about a 1/2 inch or so, and then clip the rest of that up. And then make sure their hair's wet. All right. Then you're going to take your comb and you're going to pull it down in the middle. You can leave this hair on the sides. Take how much ever you think you need. Make sure it's straight down and cut what you think you need off. I'm going to do about 1 inch here. Then you'll take a little bit of that middle section and the next section. Make sure you're going straight down, you're not going to the side or anything. And then that shorter section that's right there is going to be your guideline. So you're just going to take that across and then do that on the other side. Okay. And then you're going to do that all the way throughout the back of her head. If you're cutting off a lot and you don't know what you're doing, maybe just start with 1 inch or 2 and then work your way up. You can always cut more off. You cannot glue it back on. So if you have to take your time and do it that way, I highly recommend that. And then as you're working around their head, you still want to be pulling down but going around your area. So for her, this would probably be about shoulder length. So with their shoulders, don't bend their hair like this because you're going to get a weird thing. You will still want it to go down across on their shoulders. So everything needs to be coming down so it's even. Haircutting is a lot of geometry, so if you know your angles, then you should be pretty good at haircutting. So. And just always use that center guideline that you started as your focal point. Okay, and then she already has layers in her hair, so you're gonna run out of hair. So just make sure that there's no like stragglers. Doesn't look like it. There you go. And then we're going to go ahead and start the sides of her hair. So with that, you're going to take from the bottom of their ear or the top of their ear and then just take a small section and try to do it a little bit at an angle. It's just easier that way. And again, make sure their hair is wet. And you already have that guideline from the back, so just use that again. All right. And just work all the way up her head at an angle with your line. Again, you'll run out of hair if they already have layers. If not, then just go ahead and proceed with going all the way through and making sure that they are even. Okay. All right, and we ran out of hair again. So then we're going to do the other side. Again, angle it down. I'm running out of hair again, but we're going to check and make sure I don't have any stragglers. Okay, so you should have a pretty even cut. So then you're going to go to the front of them and you're going to check your sides. So just take them and pull them down and see if they match. And if you have a little bit longer side, then you need to go back through and you need to find those longer pieces and trim them. So I have a couple longer pieces there. Besides your angles, checking is the second most important thing that you can do with hair cutting, is just check, 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 check. You can never check your hair enough to make sure it's even. And that looks pretty close. All right. So there, she should have pretty even head of hair. Now, someone asked me yesterday about a side swoop, so I will show you how to do that. She naturally parts her hair, it looks like right here, if you can see her little line. So I'm just going to part her hair where it wants to go. Okay. Again, make sure that it is wet. And hair, once it dries, gets shorter. So if you're not sure, start longer and you can always go shorter. Especially with the bang area, because it might look like you're cutting down here and it comes all the way up to here. So if you have to, start really long and go from there. So with her side bangs, you want to get on the side that you want it swooped to. You guys see that? And then you're going to pull that hair down and just start. I'm going to start pretty low, and I'm going to take my scissors at an angle. Let's see if I can get on the other side for you. There we go. And then I'm going to take it and just cut gradually down her hair. Just, you only need a little bit, okay? You can always cut more. Right. All right, see, and then it's already starting to curl back up and go a little shorter. And then if you want a little bit of texture in the bang, pull it out, and then see all those extra little divots at the end, just trim those off. It'll give it a little bit of texture and it'll make them a little more even, but only pull the bangs out. Okay. Look, and then she has this beautiful side part, and then just go down her hair and make sure that's all blended in and you don't have like, see how that's way shorter and then you have these little pieces, just cut those little ends off. But do it at a point, do a point cutting. You don't want to go right in and just whack at it. That's not going to look okay. All right. So there she has this beautiful side part. But then you have this other side. You need to fix that side too. So again, you are just going to take it and you don't want to, I never start with her shortest one because I think that looks kind of funny. I go about to their chin and I just going to do the same thing. Angle your scissors and slowly, don't close them all the way. You just want to barely do it. You're going to be like this, down their head. If you close them, you're going to take a huge chunk out. Okay. And then see, her hair just is curling up so beautifully. She's got this awesome side part. Now this is going to be advanced. If you want to stop here, go, feel free. But layers are very important, especially if you already have them. You're probably going to want to trim them because they're going to grow out kind of funny. So you're going to go back to the back of their head. And you're going to take that hair at the top of their head, right by the crown, pull that straight up, and see how it's not very even there? Just take your scissors sideways again and just trim that off. Okay, and then that's going to be your guideline going all the way down. So then you have your guideline going this way. Now we're going to do the hair going down this way. So you're going to take that same hair and you're going to go and you're going to work around her head. So you're going to see the curve, and so once the hair is not, it can't be loose like that. It has to be pulled tight enough, but going around the curve of their head. Then that guideline you're going to use, and you're just going to cut that. And you're going to do that all the way down her head. So make sure you're sectioning it and going down their head. You, again, use that guideline, cut off all that extra junk. And you can use your clips too if you want. You can section that off. Okay. When you get to the bottom, with that bottom layer, make sure the hair is out straight. You don't want it all the way down because you're going to take a chunk out. So just make it straight because that'll make this longer still. So when it falls down, you're not taking chunks out. And then you should start seeing really nice blending. So then you're going to go use that same guideline and just go around their head. So don't pull over here all the way to the middle. Use the curve of their head as your line. Because if you pull back to the middle, you're going to have some chunks out of it too, and you're going to have very uneven hair. And everything always goes back to your original guideline. That is your saving grace, and that is what will determine whether you have an even haircut or not. So again, that guideline's in here. You'll see it too. You'll see it hanging out the back of that hair. Okay, then the final thing on the layers that you want to do is you want to comb their hair back from the top. And then I like to check it going across and see if I got it all. So just pull that up and see if you have any longer pieces that need to be trimmed off. And that will be what evens it out kind of up on your crown area. It's nice that Naomi's not tender-headed. Okay, so once you get that, you should have a nice haircut going on there. And then I like to run my fingers through it and check and make sure that it feels pretty even. So I just go and I take it and I pull it up without the tangles and see if it's pretty even, which it looks like it's pretty good. And just do that all over their head. Yep, look how, that's pretty good. So just check their whole head and then you should have a pretty nice haircut. And then, look, we're twins. That's pretty funny. And then if you have any questions, just let me know and I will try to walk you through it. I can video message you and we'll go from there.